I didn't want to go camping. It was Sam's idea, and like most of his ideas, it came wrapped in beer and nostalgia. "It'll be like college again," he said, cracking open another IPA. "No phones, no signal, just us, a fire, and stars." There were 4 of us: Sam, his girlfriend Jess, their friend Nate, and me. I was the tag-along, the third wheel of a third wheel. But I didn't want to stay home with my silence and my grief. Not this time. We drove 3 hours north to a place called Whistler's Hollow. Sam picked it because of the name. "The trees whistle when the wind cuts through 'em," he explained. "Creepy, right?" I laughed. I shouldn't have. The first day was perfect. We pitched our tents near a creek. The air was cool, the sky impossibly blue. Sunlight filtered through pine needles like stained glass. Jess made chili. Nate brought whiskey. We told ghost stories around the fire and passed around a flashlight like a mic. I even smiled. It felt normal. Until that night. It was sometime after 2 a.m. when I heard it. A whistle, soft, distant, just 3 notes. Do-re-mi. I sat up in my tent. The others were asleep, or I thought they were. Me, it came again. Closer now. I unzipped the flap and peeked out. The fire had burned to embers. The forest was dark, so dark it felt like ink, Sam whispered. No answer. Then I heard twigs snap. Someone was walking toward the sound. Nate, he looked half asleep, eyes glassy, feet bare. "Nate," I hissed, "where are you going?" He didn't answer, just walked into the trees, following the whistle. The next morning he was gone. Jess panicked. Sam yelled. I searched the trail with a flashlight and dread in my throat. No sign of him, no footprints, no voice, no return. Just trees and wind. And around noon the whistling came again. Clear, close. Due. Sam and Jess argued. He probably just went into town, Sam said. Without his shoes? Jess snapped. They bickered until the sun set. Then Jess heard it, the whistle. 3 notes, and a voice after. Jess, it sounded like Nate, but wrong, stretched, hollow. She ran. I tried to stop her. She disappeared between the trees before I could blink. Now it was just me and Sam. He built the fire higher. I clutched my coat like it could protect me. Tomorrow, he said. We'll leave tomorrow. We didn't sleep. At 3:09 a.m. it came again. Whistle, whistle. Then Sam's name. Sam, come see. It sounded like Jess. He stood. I grabbed his wrist. No, it's not them. But he looked through me like glass. Jess needs me. He walked. I'm alone now. Daylight doesn't feel right. The trees lean closer. There's no signal. No way out. I've walked for hours, only to return to the same circle of stones where the fire used to be. I don't light it anymore. At night it whistles, and now it uses my voice. Last night I heard myself call into the trees. Maya, come see. I didn't speak. I didn't move, but the voice was mine. Perfect, identical. It mimics now. Not just whistles, it knows how we sound, how we beg, how we scream. I don't know what it looks like. I hope I never will. Because the next time I hear my voice in the dark, I might answer. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I moved to Marrow Creek for the shadows. As a freelance photographer, I had chased light for years. Sunrises over canyon ridges, golden hour portraits in ghost towns, moonlit fields. But I had never seen anything like the shadows in that town. They weren't cast. They grew. I had noticed it on a roadside stop. A narrow band of forest at the northern edge of Marrow Creek. At exactly 6:17 p.m., the shadows spilled across the road like spilled ink. Fast. Too fast. I took a photo every evening for a week. Each time, the line of darkness crept closer. Each time I stood a little longer, until I had to know. The locals called it the tree line, not the usual term. This wasn't about altitude. This was about boundary. They warned me, don't step past it after sunset. Why? I asked. The woman at the gas station said, because it sees you if you do. The man at the diner whispered, because what's on the other side might not let you back. They weren't smiling. I thought it was superstition. I was wrong. On the 8th day, I arrived at 5:30 p.m. Golden light draped the trees like honey. I set up my tripod, shot frames every few seconds. At 6:15, the forest was still. At 6:17, the shadows pulsed. They didn't just stretch, they crawled. Down trunks, across roots, toward my boots. I stepped forward, over the invisible threshold, into shadow. The first thing I noticed was the silence. Total. Not just birdsong gone, but absence. Even my footsteps didn't crunch. It felt like walking on memory foam. The air grew heavier, thicker, like breathing syrup. I turned. The road was gone. Only trees behind me. Endless. Identical. I walked deeper. My camera clicked every few feet. The bark was wrong. Not rough. Not smooth. But veined. Like flesh. One tree had a human eye embedded in its trunk. The iris tracked me. I kept walking. I came to a clearing. There was a mirror nailed to a tree. Old. Cracked. But the reflection was clear. Except it wasn't me. Not quite. The reflection's head tilted a beat after mine. Its eyes blinked too slowly. Its smile lingered. I backed away. Then I heard clicking. Not insects. Shutter sounds. Dozens of them. Like dozens of cameras firing at once. I turned in a circle. No one there. But the sound came from the trees. From within the trees. I reached for my camera. Gone. My hands were empty. So were my pockets. I spun. Behind me stood another woman. Same face. Same hair. Same jacket. She was holding my camera. She raised it. Flash. Darkness. I woke lying on damp moss, or maybe carpet. The forest had changed. Everything pulsed faintly, like breathing. The leaves shimmered with shifting text. Words I almost recognized. Names. Mine was one of them. I ran. The trees leaned in. They opened. Each trunk split to reveal layers, shelves, full of cameras, sketchbooks, Polaroids, and bones. So many bones. I found the tree with my name, its bark peeled back like paper. Inside was a cavity. My camera sat inside, clicking. I reached in and saw my hand from the outside, as if I were watching myself from the camera. Then I heard my voice. I see you. It came from all directions, from the trunks, from the roots, from the camera. I tried to scream, but my mouth didn't move. Now I'm outside myself. I wander the edge of the forest. People still come to photograph the tree line. I try to warn them, but I only exist in photos now. If you see me, a woman with red hair and a cracked lens, don't follow me. Don't step past the line, because the forest doesn't take you. It keeps you. They started coming back in early spring. First it was Eli McCrae, missing 2 years, presumed dead after his truck was found rusting by the river. He walked into town barefoot, naked, smiling, didn't say a word. Then came Hannah Tills, gone 6 months. Then Mrs. Mendez, who hadn't been seen since 1998. By the time we hit a dozen, Sheriff Clatch closed off the woods entirely. But it didn't stop them. They kept coming, all of them barefoot, all of them smiling. All of them with black, glassy eyes that never blinked, and all of them wrong. I moved to Farrell Hollow for peace. After my wife passed, I couldn't stand the city. Every honk, every siren felt like an intrusion. I needed quiet. Farrell had it in spades. One gas station, one church, and a diner where the coffee tasted like nostalgia. The woods wrapped around us like a quilt, dense, green, humming with cicadas in the summer and fog in the fall. People here respected the trees. Never cut too deep, never wandered past the stone line. That was the rule. Now I understand why. It wasn't until Clara James came back that I got involved. She'd been my student years ago, sweet kid, vanished during a camping trip with friends. Now she stood at the edge of the square, hair tangled, skin pale, no clothes, just smiling. I saw the sheriff talk to her. She didn't blink, didn't answer. Then she bled, only it wasn't blood, it was sap, thick, amber, smelled like pine. That night, I couldn't sleep. I dreamt of roots wrapping around my legs, of bark growing across my chest, of whispering in the trees. Come back, come back, come back. I woke covered in leaves, inside my locked house. The town changed. Slowly, people started going missing more often, then coming back. We called them the Hollowed. They wandered the streets, didn't eat, didn't sleep, just stared at the trees. Sometimes they'd stand in the rain for hours. Their skin began to crack, then peel. Beneath it, bark. The mayor called in the state. No one came. Phones died. Internet dropped. The forest grew closer to town. Trees where there hadn't been trees before. The stone line vanished. I tried to leave. My car spun circles on roads that should have led out. No matter which way I drove, I ended up at the church, or the diner, or my house. Always back. Always here. The woods laughed at me. I barricaded myself in, stocked up, covered the windows. But they stood outside every night. The Hollowed, whispering to the trees, smiling at me, tapping the glass with wooden fingers. I caught one in my shed. It was Sheriff Clatch, half-turned, one eye still brown, the other obsidian. He wept sap, said, "You can't fight the forest. It remembers, it reclaims." Then he split, right down the middle, inside, roots, crawling, alive. I'm the last one now, I think. The air is thicker. The trees lean closer. They grow through the diner now, through the church, through the school. It's not a town anymore. It's a nursery. For them. And I feel it under my skin, itchy, moving. I peeled back a patch last night. Beneath it, bark. The forest doesn't kill, it converts. So if you ever see someone come out of the woods smiling, don't smile back. Because it sees through you and it's always planting. I've worked 12 years in the Briarbend National Forest. Miles of untouched wilderness, trails laced through ancient pines, and fog so thick it swallows sound. Most of it is beautiful, raw, calming. But there's one place we don't send people. Locals call it the fog line. No one ever mapped it officially. It shifts like a living thing. Always a different mile marker. Always cold. Always still. And over the last 3 years, 6 people have disappeared near it. No bodies. No signs of struggle. Just gone. And now it's my turn to investigate. The morning I hiked in, the air was clear. Sunlight glinted off wet ferns. Birds chattered in the treetops. The woods smelled like sap and moss and pine. I followed Trail 19 toward the ridge. It was quiet, too quiet. Even the chipmunks seemed to hold their breath. My boots crunched gravel as I passed mile 7, then mile 8. Then the fog rolled in. It didn't crawl. It fell. Thick, sudden. A wall of pale gray that silenced everything. I pulled out my GPS. No signal. Compass? Spinning like mad. I tapped my radio. Base? This is Boone. I've hit the fog line. Equipment's failing. Static. Then turn back. But it wasn't anyone from base. It sounded like me. I kept moving. The path underfoot felt wrong. Too soft. Like walking on something alive. The trees leaned in, their trunks slick with condensation. I swear they were closer together than before. I marked one with my knife. Walked 10 minutes, found the same tree again, same mark. Panic bloomed in my chest. I turned around, walked faster, but the fog thickened. Then I heard footsteps. Heavy, measured, just behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just fog and trees and my own footprints leading toward me. I set up camp by a fallen log, lit a fire, ate from my pack. At 2:17 a.m. I woke up cold. The fire was out and someone was breathing behind me. Slow, wet, close. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. Then it whispered, "You're not first." At dawn I found a boot, size 10, laces still tied. Inside it, a human foot, clean cut, no blood. A ranger boot, just like mine. I ran. The fog moved with me. I reached a clearing. Saw a man kneeling by a stump, wearing my uniform. I called out, "Hey!" He turned. It was me. Same face, same scar on my chin. But his eyes were solid white and he smiled too wide. "Almost time," he said. I tried to leave, ran until my legs failed, collapsed by a stream. He found me there, my double. He crouched beside me. "You're tired. Let me carry it for a while." He reached out, touched my face. I screamed. Everything went black. I woke up in my bed. At the ranger station, sunlight through blinds, coffee brewing, a normal day. But something was wrong. Everyone treated me the same, except my reflection. It blinked before I did, smiled when I didn't, and last night, I found fog on my bedroom floor and pine needles in my boots. If you ever hike Briarbend, stay away from mile 8, don't trust the fog. And if you hear your own voice whisper, turn back, listen. Because I didn't. And now, I don't think I'm the one writing this. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, share, and subscribe.